Hi, this is Momita. I'm 2 times NET qualified. Today we are going to learn some important MCQs on the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 Part 2. So let's start it. So the first question is Standing Order finally certified under the Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946 shall come into operation from. So the answer will be, one second. Yeah. So the answer will be A, on the expiry of 30 days. Standing order एक बार certify हो जाए तो it come into operation from, ये force में कब आता है? On the expiry of 30 days from the date on which standing order is certified. Okay. Remember, this is a case when there is no appeal is made. Okay. If appeal is made, means when there are any aggrieved regarding certified standing order, worker, trade union, employer appeal to appellate authority, then certified standing order come into operation on the expiry of 7 days. Okay. अगर कोई बंदा aggrieved हो, like कोई भी वर्कर, ट्रेड यूनियन, एम्प्लॉय एग्रीव्ड हो, गुस्सा हो किसको लेके, सर्टिफाइड स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर को लेके, देन वो कहाँ पे अपील करते हैं? एपलेट अथॉरिटी के पास. देन सर्टिफाइड स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर कम इनटू ऑपरेशन. सर्टिफाइड स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर तब ऑपरेशन में आते हैं ऑन द एक्सपायरी ऑफ 7 days. ओके, फ्रॉम द डेट एपलेट अथॉरिटी गिव डिसीजन. ठीक है. सो बट इन जनरल केस इट इज 30 days. So move to the next question. Industrial Employment Standing Order Act come into force on, it will be option number C, that is 23rd April 1946. So Industrial Employment Standing Order Act कब से लागू हुआ है? It is 23rd April 1946. Remember this one, this is a very important. Okay. Move to the next question. Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 does not apply to establishment. इंडस्ट्रियल एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर एक्ट 1946 कौन से एस्टैब्लिशमेंट पे अप्लाई नहीं होता है? सो लेट्स सी द ऑप्शंस. फर्स्ट वन इज वेयर बॉम्बे इंडस्ट्रियल रिलेशन एक्ट 1946 ऑलरेडी अप्लाइड. या दिस इज राइट. देन नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन, वेयर मध्य प्रदेश इंडस्ट्रियल एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर एक्ट 1961 ऑलरेडी अप्लाइड. दिस इज ऑल्सो राइट. Where both Bombay Industrial Relation Act 1946 and Madhya Pradesh Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1961 already applied. So answer will be C. कोई भी establishment में अगर पहले से Bombay Industrial Relation Act 1946 and मध्य प्रदेश Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1961 पहले से लागू है, वहां पे Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 लागू नहीं होगा. If in any industry, Bombay Industrial Relation Act 1946 and Madhya Pradesh Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1961 already applied, their Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 will not apply. Okay, move to the next question. Standing Order finally certified under the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 shall come into operation when while an appeal has been made. So, यहाँ पे क्या पूछा गया है? स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर वंस गेट सर्टिफाइड, ये कब ऑपरेशन में आता है? व्हेन अपील हैज बीन मेड. जनरली ये ऑपरेशन में 30 days में आता है, बट व्हेन अपील हैज मेड इट कम ऑन द एक्सपायरी ऑफ 7 days from the date appellate authority decision given, as I say in the first question. Okay, so it will be 7 days if appeal has been made to the appellate authority. So याद रखना, जब appeal होगा तब it will be 7 days from the date appellate authority decision given. Otherwise it will be 30 days. In general it will be 30 days if no appeal has been made. Appeal होगा तो 7 days. Okay. So move to the next question. For certification of a standing order, how many copies of a draft standing order to be submitted to the certifying officer by the employer? सो स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर को सर्टिफाई करने के लिए कितनी कॉपीज ऑफ ड्राफ्ट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर देना होता है सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर को बाय द एम्प्लॉयर? सो इट विल बी ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज 5 copies. सो employer have to give 5 copies of draft standing order to the certifying officer to get certified standing order. Do you guys know how standing order is certified? Let me give you the chart. So see, इसमें क्या होता है, एम्प्लॉयर जो होते हैं वो क्या करते हैं, सेंड करते हैं 5 copies of draft standing order, 5 copies of a draft standing order to certifying officer, okay. See like this one, यहाँ पे 5 कॉपी दिया है ना इस क्वेश्चन में, जैसे बोला है तो 5 कॉपीज ऑफ ड्राफ्ट देना होता है एम्प्लॉयर को सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर को, ठीक है. आफ्टर दैट सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर सेंड इट टू ट्रेड यूनियन, सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर से ट्रेड यूनियन के पास भेजते हैं टू रेज ऑब्जेक्शन विद इन 15 डेज. अगर कुछ ऑब्जेक्शन है ड्राफ्ट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर को लेके तो उसे रेज करना होता है ट्रेड यूनियन को विद इन 15 डेज. देन सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर मॉडिफाई इट, फिर क्या करते हैं सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर, मॉडिफाई करते हैं ड्राफ्ट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर को इफ रिक्वायर्ड. सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर मॉडिफाई इट and then certify the standing order, okay, and then send it to employer, trade union and worker. But within 7 days. तो जो मतलब सर्टिफाइड होता है स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर that will be sent to the employer, trade union and worker within 7 days by certifying officer. Okay, remember this chart, it is very important. Okay, so you can get 90% of the questions from this and rest from the subsistence allowances. So this 2 topic is very important. So next, move to the next question. Within how many months from the date on which the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act became applicable to an industrial establishment, employer shall submit to the certifying officer 5 copies of a draft standing order proposed by him for certification of standing order. So, it will be 6 months. कोई भी establishment में अगर Industrial Employment Standing Order Act लागू हो जाए तो वहां पे क्या देना होता है, 5 copies of draft standing order as we see in the last question to certifying officer. एम्प्लॉयर को क्या करना पड़ता है, सर्टिफाइंग ऑफिसर को 5 copies of draft standing order देना होता है. So वो कितने महीने में देना होता है, it will be within 6 months. Okay, so किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में, किसी भी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट में अगर इंडस्ट्रियल एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्टैंडिंग ऑर्डर एक्ट लागू हो जाए, और ये कब लागू होता है, व्हेन इन एनी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट वेयर 100 और मोर देन 100 वर्कमैन एम्प्लॉयड, किसी भी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट में 100 या 100 से ज्यादा आदमी काम करे तो वहां पे ये एक्ट लागू हो जाता है. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम एज यू सी इन माय लास्ट वीडियो आई हैव टोल्ड यू, अगर गवर्नमेंट चाहे तो लेस देन 100 एम्प्लॉय भी ये एक्ट लागू कर सकता है, बट फॉर दिस गवर्नमेंट शुड गिव एन लेटर टू गेजेटेड ऑफिसर. ओके, फॉर दिस गवर्नमेंट शुड गिव अ लेटर टू एप्लीकेशन टू गेजेटेड ऑफिसर. ओके, सो जब ये एक्ट लागू हो जाए किसी भी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट में सो एम्प्लॉयर को क्या करना पड़ता है, 5 copies of draft standing order देना पड़ता है to the certifying officer, as we see 5 copies of draft standing order in the last question to the certifying officer by employer, but that should be within 6 months. Okay, so answer will be 6 months. Next question. Which one of the following statement relating to payment of subsistence allowance under the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 is correct? Acha. So according to this act, the Industrial Employment Standing Order Act, subsistence allowance का provision में कौन-कौन सा सही है? So let's see the options. Subsistence allowance shall be at a rate of 50% of the wages which the workman was entitled immediately preceding the date suspension for the first 90 days. So first 90 days का subsistence allowance 50% होता है. So this is right. Next option, subsistence allowance shall be at a rate of 75% of such wages for the remaining period of suspension if delay in the completion for disciplinary proceeding. अगर कुछ delay हो, अगर 90 days से ज़्यादा हो, तो then subsistence allowance will be increases to 75%. 75% means 3/4. Okay, and 50% means half. Okay, so move to the next option. If the departmental inquiry gets prolonged as suspension continues for a period exceeding 90 days for reason due to the workman, subsistence allowance will be 1/4. Will be 1/4 of wages. अगर workman responsible हो, इसलिए for the prolonged, अगर 90 days से ज़्यादा हो, so inquiry goes prolonged beyond 90 days, and if the workman is responsible for it, then it will be subsistence allowance will be reduced to 1/4. Generally for first 90 days जब inquiry चलता है, तब it will be half or 50% subsistence allowance मिलता है worker को, and if it extends, अगर 90 days से ज़्यादा चलेगी inquiry, then it will be 75%, or you can say 3/4, मतलब increase हो जाता है. और ये अगर inquiry goes prolonged due to the workman responsible हो. You can ask me how workman is responsible. Say he may absent from inquiry, वो उसे किसी questioning के लिए बुलाया गया हो और वो absent हो जाए, then subsistence allowance will be 1/4 of wages the workman is entitled. Okay, see, remember this 3 is for departmental inquiry. Okay, departmental inquiry का है ये सब 3 options. Okay, और एक होता है inquiry carried out by outside agency का एक होता है when workman done any criminal offense. अगर कोई workman criminal offense किया हो तो outside agency inquiry करते हैं, but this is for departmental inquiry. So answer will be D. कौन सा सही है बताएगा ना subsistence allowance में, which one is correct? So all these are correct. For first 90 days it is 50%, and if it extend beyond 90 days it will be 75%, and if the workman is responsible for exceeding the inquiry more than 90 days, that will be 1/4. 1/4 of subsistence allowance मिलता है इसमें. Okay, move to the next question. Where the inquiry contemplate or pending by an outside agency for criminal proceeding against the workman, subsistence allowance for first 180 days will be dash of the wages which the workman was entitled. See, outside agency, as I say in last question, if any criminal offense is done by workman, then inquiry is carried out by outside agency. Okay, in this case for first 180 days, subsistence allowance will be option number A, that is half of the wages which the workman was entitled. इसमें सब कुछ सेम रहता है like departmental inquiry, but instead of 90 days it will be 180 days. Okay, so for first 180 days it is half. Like in that departmental inquiry, for first 90 days is half of the wages the workman was entitled, subsistence allowance will be. So here it is also half. Okay. So and if it goes prolonged then 180 days, it will be 3/4 of the wages. And if it goes prolonged due to the workman is responsible for that goes prolonged beyond 180 days, then it will be 1/4. अगर वर्कमैन रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो कि ये इंक्वायरी गोज बियॉन्ड 180 days, so it will be reduced to 1/4 of the wages. Subsistence allowance इसमें 1/4 मिलता है. So move to the next. A workman aggrieved by an order imposing punishment may within how many days from the date of the receipt of the order appeal to the appellate authority? It will be option number A, that is 21 days. So if workman, अगर workman aggrieved हो, जो punishment उसे दिया गया हो, okay, then he can appeal to appellate authority. And within how many days? That will be 21 days. अगर कोई workman गुस्सा हो, that punishment they has given, they can appeal to appellate authority within 21 days. Move to the next question. So where the inquiry contemplate or pending gets prolonged beyond 180 days by an outside agency for criminal proceeding against the workman, subsistence allowance will be dash of the wages with the workman was entitled. So criminal proceeding में outside agency करते हैं inquiry, and if it gets prolonged beyond 180 days, अगर gets prolonged में क्या मैंने कहा था, it will be 3/4. If workman is not responsible. If workman is responsible, it will be 1/4. But in this case, gets prolonged beyond 180 days and workman is not responsible, so it will be 3/4. Okay, let's move to the next one. A workman desires to obtain a casual leave shall not be exceeding how many days in the aggregate in a calendar year. So workman casually कितना ले सकता है एक साल में? It will be option number B, that is 10 days. एक साल में वर्कर कैजुअली 10 दिन का ले सकते हैं. ओके, अगर 10 दिन से ज्यादा ले तो विदाउट पेमेंट लीव हो जाएगा उसका. ओके, इफ वर्कमैन टेक्स मोर देन 10 days of casual leave, then it will become without payment leave. मतलब उस लीव का उसे पेमेंट नहीं मिलेगा. So move to the next question. Casual leave shall not be taken more than how many days at a time? It will be option number B, 3 days. Casual leave हम एक बार में 3 दिन से ज्यादा नहीं ले सकते हैं. मतलब workman can't take more than 3 days of leave at a time. Okay, workman at a time 3 दिन से ज्यादा नहीं ले सकते except in case of sickness. सिकनेस हो तो 3 दिन से ज्यादा वो ले सकता है कैजुअली. ओके, मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. A workman desires to obtain a leave of absence applied to the employer who shall issue orders within dash of its submission. Answer will be option number C, that is both A and B. A week of a submission or 2 days prior to the commencement of leave applied, whichever is earlier. Okay, 2 days and here it is a week. Remember this one. Okay, say if you work in a top-notch establishment as a manager and employee come to you for leave of absence, से छुट्टी लेने के लिए आए हो तो you shall issue order of permission within a week or 2 days prior to the commencement of leave, whichever is earlier. से कोई भी एम्प्लॉय या वर्कर किसी भी एम्प्लॉयर के पास गया तो उसे बोला कि से टुडे इज फ्राइडे. 1 second. Yeah, so say today is Friday and the employer came to you and give your application that he wanted leave. So you have to provide the order within next week फ्राइडे, कमिंग वीक फ्राइडे में ऑर्डर देना होता है एम्प्लॉयर को. he should give permission. Okay, here it says within a week. Okay, so if the worker says no, I want to leave on, say you want to leave on Saturday, he want to leave on Saturday, then so employer has to pass the order on, one second. Okay, employer has to pass the order on Thursday. Is Saturday. This one is Saturday. Remember, this one is Saturday. अगर कोई एम्प्लॉयर के पास कोई भी एम्प्लॉयर जाए और बोले कि उसे क्या छुट्टी चाहिए, that is if you think today is Friday and the employer has come to you, ask for leave, so the employer has to pass the order or issue the order within next Friday. Okay, but if in case the workman want the leave on say Saturday, अगर वो वर्कमैन सैटरडे को लीव उसे चाहिए होता है तो एम्प्लॉयर को कब पास करना होता है ऑर्डर, इश्यू ऑर्डर ऑन Thursday. Okay, on or before Thursday. Okay, so whichever is earlier, in this case it will be the employer has to pass the order on Thursday. Okay, move to the next question. If the leave applied for is to commence within 3 days, then the order shall be made on the same day. Answer will be A, on the same day. If workman asks for leave after 3 days, then employer should issue order on the same day. अगर workman बोले 3 दिन बाद छुट्टी चाहिए, then employer को उसी दिन order देना होता है. Okay, let's move to the question. If the workman remains absent beyond the period of a leave or subsequent extension, then they can lose the leave on appointment unless the worker, answer will be A, returns within 8 days of the expiry of a leave and explains the satisfactory reason for inability to return before the expiry of a leave. Okay, so अगर workman absent हो, if workman is absent हो जाए beyond the period of a leave, मतलब जितने दिन का लीव लिया हो उससे ज्यादा दिन वो एब्सेंट हो जाए तो उसका अपॉइंटमेंट कैंसिल हो सकता है, except he return within 8 days after the expiry of a leave and give satisfactory reason. Okay, move to the question. No shift working shall be discontinued without how many months prior notice to workman? शिफ्ट वर्किंग वर्कमैन को डिसकंटिन्यूड या रिट्रेंच करने के लिए एस्टैब्लिशमेंट को कितने मंथ का प्रायर नोटिस देना होता है? इट विल बी 2 months. If shift workman retrench or discontinued, then establishment has to give 2 months prior notice to be given to the workman. Okay, move to the next question. Who is badly or substitute workman? So it will be option B, who are appointed in place of a permanent or provisional workman. Permanent or provisional workman who is temporarily absent. अगर permanent और provisional workman absent हो तो उसके place में बदली और substitute workman को appoint किया जाता है. As I say in my earlier class, there are 7 types of workman classification according to Industrial Employment Standing Order Act. Earlier, only 6 types of workman classification were there before 2018 amendment. So, badli or substitute workman is one of the workman classification. So, badli are worker who are appointed in place of a permanent or provisional workman who is temporarily absent. Okay. बदली अपॉइंट किया जाता है जब परमानेंट या प्रोविजनल वर्कमैन एब्सेंट हो तो. मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. हु इज परमानेंट वर्कमैन? कौन परमानेंट वर्कमैन है? सो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन ए, हु हैज कंप्लीटेड 3 months प्रोविजनल पीरियड. सो कोई भी बंदा या वर्कमैन हु हैज कंप्लीटेड 3 months of provisional period is termed as a permanent workman. Let's read out the other options also. Who are appointed in the place of a permanent or provisional workman who is a temporary absent. As we read in the earlier question, it will be badli. ये बदली और substitute workman का definition है. Okay. Who has not completed 3 months provisional period. जो 3 महीने का provisional period नहीं complete करता है. It is said to be a provisional workman. Said to be provisional workman. This is the definition of provisional workman. Remember this one. In next option, engaged for work which is of an essential nature and likely to be finished within a limited period. So limited period कहा गया है तो this will be temporary workman. This is the definition of a temporary workman. Limited period मतलब contract basis में. Temporary workman work for a limited period or contract basis. So this is the definition of a temporary workman. Move to the next question. Notice of a changes in shift working of a workman should be displayed in a. It will be option A, that is notice board of main entrance, and if registered trade union exists, a copy of a notice of changes to be given to secretary of a trade union. अगर कुछ भी चेंजेस हो रिगार्डिंग द टाइमिंग ऑफ अ शिफ्ट वर्किंग टाइम में कुछ भी चेंजेस हो तो वर्क तो कहाँ पे ये डिस्प्लेड होता है. सो इट विल बी ऑन नोटिस बोर्ड एंड अदरवाइज नोटिस हैज टू बी गिवन टू सेक्रेटरी ऑफ द ट्रेड यूनियन. ठीक है, एक तो सेक्रेटरी ऑफ ट्रेड यूनियन को नोटिस देना होता है और एक नोटिस बोर्ड में डिस्प्ले करना होता है कि शिफ्ट वर्किंग में चेंजेस हुआ है, वर्किंग का टाइम चेंज हुआ है. ओके, मूव टू द नेक्स्ट. इफ द लीव इज रिफ्यूज्ड, postponed by the employer, the fact reason of such refusal shall be recorded in writing in. अगर कोई भी लीव, if employer refused to give leave to workman, the reasons should be mentioned in. Answer will be A, register. अगर employer refuse करे लीव देने के लिए किसको, एम्प्लॉय को या वर्कमैन को, सो उसका रीजन कहाँ पे मेंशन करना होता है, रजिस्टर में. एम्प्लॉयर को उसका रीजन मेंशन करना होता है रजिस्टर में. सो आंसर विल बी ए. सो दैट्स इट फॉर दिस टुडेज क्लास. आई होप यू हैव लाइक्ड इट. सो please press like button and subscribe my channel for more video like this. Thank you and have a good day.